Okay, good. So I'd like to welcome everyone who is here today. I'd like to say a good afternoon if you are in the GMT belts, and I'd like to say good morning if you're in Canada or the US. I'd like to welcome everyone here today. Today is day 4 of Wealth Creation Seminar, and today we are doing a book review, and we are reviewing chapters 9 to 12 of The Science of Getting Rich. And we're kicking off this class by showing gratitude and appreciation, and by voicing our gratitude and appreciation for where we are today, for where we all are. So for me, I am grateful that I'm alive. I am grateful that I'm well. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm grateful that I am able to, get up and do my daily chores. I'm able to write my list of the things I want to do and get about doing them. I'm even able to pray. I tell people that people to be able to pray to God is a privilege, because some people are so much in deep problems that they can't even gather themselves together to even pray. So today, I'm alive and well. There's plenty to be grateful for. Even the things that you will think one should not be grateful for, I'm grateful for them as well, because everything that is happening to me is ushering me forward. Nature is friendly to my plans. God desires to bless me and give me more than I can ever desire to get from Him. Okay, that all the desires that I feel, I'm excited that it stems from God, trying to see function and performance through me. And I'm grateful to be alive and well. And I can see all our comments as well. We're grateful to be alive and well. We're grateful to be in this meeting. We're grateful for the things that are evolving and unfolding. We're grateful for the coincidences that are happening already. Somebody says, I'm grateful that I have set goals for this week, and I'm grateful to God for His presence in my life and courage. Okay, amazing. So we have plenty of things to be grateful for today, and I am grateful as well. So I'd like to welcome everybody to today's conversation. We want to go back quickly into the book reviews and keep the reviews going on. We've been talking about wealth creation, and the reason why we're sharing this and why I'm passionate about these reviews is because I'm just excited at how many people we can have who can create phenomenal wealth, who can become, wealthy as well on the accounts of the things that they are learning. I'm so excited that people can come here today and learn and become wealthy, and then we can impact society better. All the things we mentioned in day 1 as our why for wanting to create wealth can become reality. And I think that's so amazing. And it's so amazing that we can be involved in doing this together. We can help people this way. I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy, not just what I'm seeing. I'm grateful that in 1 year from now, people in this place will have radically multiplied their potentials. They'll be earning income that is amazing. Okay, they'll be doing phenomenal things in society. It will be off the charts. And I'm assured of this because I've seen this in a smaller scale before. I know now that we're doing at a bigger scale, it is going to be amazing. Somebody said I say amazing a lot. I think it's just one of the ways that I express my gratitude. It's the way I express. It's a language that feels at peace with me and just makes me expect more, see more, and see beauty in everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're here today, we're going to be reviewing chapters 9 to 12. If you have not read it, it's fine. Please catch up. If you have read it, then this basically makes it easy for you to relate and reinforce the things you have read. And if you have not read it, this leads you and inspires you to quickly grab the book and read. And it doesn't take long to read. Yeah, it doesn't take long at all. You can start in 1 hour, you do 3 chapters. In 1 hour, actually, you can finish the entire book. It's just 110 pages. But yeah, you can slow it down, underline, pick out key phrases, and see how you want to make the most of it. So I'm going to share my screen and start this conversation today. And I'd like to remind us of what I always try to remind us as we start. If this course is free for you, you will not get the most benefit. Because if people don't pay money, they don't pay attention. There are people who are in this class and they will just be looking and saying, what are they talking about? Because there's no commitment from their end at all. So I want to encourage you, if you are here in this class today, you need to have a mindset, and this needs to be your mindset, that this training cost me 500,000 naira. meaning you owe the facilitator. It is not free of charge, it is free of cash. It means somewhere you are getting more use value than you have even paid for. But you need to assume this value and assume this price so that when somebody comes to distract you, when you think of prioritizing or deprioritizing this against something else, you know that on the merit of the cost I have paid, I cannot allow something less to distract me. And it is when you have that kind of mindset that you are able to get the most value from this training. So I'd like to encourage you, if you are here today, you want to get significant value from this training, you want to do it by knowing that you have paid, it cost you, and this is what it costs you. So somebody will say, I'm owing 500K, okay, even worth more for this training. It is free of cash, but it's not free of charge. Okay, so I'm paying. So if you have that mentality that you're paying, you will be able to pay the required attention to ensure you get the value. You know, many times there's value, but because we don't place premium on it, we're not able to derive that value. So I'd like you to derive the value so that you can get all the lessons from today. Make up your mind that this is, this is costing you. Make up your mind that when this really does work, paying 500,000 naira, for somebody else will not be a problem. Okay, so you can even pay it forward. So I like us to have that at the front of our minds. And of course, we want to look at the book, Science of Getting Rich. One of the things that always amazes me is, remember, this book is 110 years old. So if you are reading this today and it's been around for 110 years and people have utilized this book, practiced it, and I've seen plenty of people who don't tell you the source of their information, but when you listen to them and you watch them, you know that what they have read is this book. They concealed their source. Okay, and they say that sometimes people show that as originality, is ability to conceal your source. Now, we are not concealing our source. We are basically putting this all out and sharing exactly as it is so that you can get the full value of it. You can understand what is available in it and you can make the most of it. So I want to encourage you, if you're here and you're listening to this, you want to take it over and read, underline if there's anything that is not clear and anything that you feel you need to get clarity about. You want to ensure that you can ask in this meeting so that we can all make the most of this together and get the highest possible value. Okay, remember what we said, it is an inner game. Wealth creation is an inner game. And when you get your insight correctly, then you can make a lot more things happen. Okay, you want to get your inner game correctly. Okay, so I think that is really, really, really very important. So it's an inner game. If you get the inner game correctly, then you can do phenomenal things. So one of the things that we'll try to do here is help us with that inner shaping to ensure how are we looking at this, how are we thinking? Because if you're thinking in a certain way, then we will act in a certain way. Then we'll get certain results. Okay. Somebody says on top of the value, I'm going to add cola nuts. Okay, good. I look forward to all of that. An overview. Today we are doing overview of chapters 9 to 12. And if you have tried to read, you know it's quite more voluminous than what we've read before. So we want to go very quickly. We're going to do book review. We're going to share our thoughts. We're going to put the comments there as we progress. We're going to have a few assignments. We're going to have instructions for practical applications. And we're going to share some of our coincidences, our connections, and our testimonies that we are having already. I have a coincidence that happened to me yesterday. I have something interesting that is brewing in my mind. I'm going to share a little idea with you, and I'm going to get a few people to share theirs as well. So it's going to be an exciting time today. If you are ready, can you say, I am ready? Can you just type I am ready in that chat box? And let's see who is ready. Good. I can see I am ready. Awesome. Okay, great. So the first thing I'd like us to look at very quickly today, and remind ourselves of, so let's be reminded, the first strategy here says, the first principle is there's a thinking stuff on which all things are made, and which is in original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thoughts. A person can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon the formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. Okay, it can cause the things that he thinks about to be created. So these are the things that we have summarized from the first set of studies. Okay, now there's a lot more that we have developed since then as well. So one of the things we have developed from there as well, it says, furthermore, your part is to intelligently formulate your desire for the things which make for a larger life, and to get these things arranged into a coherent whole. You must then impress the whole desire upon the formless substance, which has the power and the will to bring you what you want. We simplify that as visualize, pray, believe, and work. Okay, so be as thankful for it all the time as you expect to be when it has taken form. The person who can sincerely thank God for the things which he owns in imagination has real faith. That person will get rich. That person will cause the creation of whatsoever he wants. Okay, whoever is able to, have, who is able to cause, whoever is thankful, the person who is sincerely able to thank God for the things which he owns only in his imagination has real faith. That person will get rich. That person will cause the creation of whatsoever he wants. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how far we have come. There's a little more to go, but where we have come to is the place where we know that the universe is filled with, God is available. God is in the spaces of everything that fills the universe. By imprinting thoughts on this formless universe, things are created. Human beings are co-creators with God. They are thinking centers. They can form thoughts and impress it upon God and have created that things which they have imagined. And in the process of that thing making its way to them, if they maintain an attitude of gratitude, thanking God all the time for the things that they imagine is theirs, that is real faith. And that person will become rich. And that person can cause anything that they want to become created. Okay? And like Jesus Christ said in the words we read yesterday, believe you shall have it, and then you shall have it. So today we want to take it further. And, in this conversation, the author tries to ensure that it can include all faiths. Like I said, the book was 110 years old. It brings stuff from Hindu persuasion, from Buddhism, from different places. You have your faith, you have your belief systems. I expect you to be able to look at everything you are reading, take the wheat, drop the shaft. No matter how perfect the literature is, you need to be able to identify wheat, identify shaft, go with the wheat, and make the most of it. And largely for what we have seen, this is very simple, uncomplicated, full of value. So if you have questions of things that are not clear, be prepared to ask them and they will be answered. So the first chapter today is chapter 9. It says how to use the will. So after I've imagined what I want, after I've prayed about it or imprinted it on the thinking stuff, on the all power, all value, the original substance, I imprinted it. I now need to have gratitude in my heart and faith, unwavering faith, expecting what I believe to become my reality. Now I need to use my will. Okay, human beings are given 4 unique faculties. I have the faculty of imagination, I have the faculty of conscience, I have the faculty of self-awareness, and I have the faculty of independent will. Now, I've used my imagination and my self-awareness to know where I am. I've used my imagination to prepare the future. I've checked my conscience to see if this is in alignment with what is the tide of the creator. And then I now need to learn how to use my will. Now, how do I use my will? Okay, how do I use my will? Someone says I caught myself literally beginning to lose ground for a minute earlier today. So I caught myself. Gratitude is indeed is a connection with power. Okay, that when you are grateful, you change everything around you. How do we use our will? A few key thoughts that are memorable from the text. 1, to set about getting rich in a scientific way, you do not try to apply your willpower to anything outside yourself. To try to use your will to control other people, to try to use your will to begin to try to do things to force other people is wrong. It will not allow you to achieve your goal. The only use of your will is for yourself. The thinking substance is friendly to you and is more anxious to give you what you want than you are to get it. And I think this is powerful. So one, the will, you use your will for yourself. Understand that beyond your interest in getting, okay, God is willing to give you more than you want to get. Um, and I use God freely because many people here in Nigeria understand God. So the amazing reality is, I like a verse in scripture that says, do not be afraid to ask little flock. It is your father's pleasure to give you the kingdom. It says, the father knows the things you need even before you ask. So much more than your willingness to ask, there's a willingness to give. Nature is friendly to your plans. So use your will to keep yourself thinking and acting in a certain way. Your use of your will is for yourself, and that your will should help you think and act in a certain way. Every hour and every moment you spend in giving heed to doubts and fears, every hour you spend in worry, every hour in which your soul is possessed by unbelief sets a current away from you through the whole domain of the intelligent substance. So when you worry, when you doubt, when you are afraid, when you don't believe, every moment you spend, every hour you spend that way reverses the trend of what you are bringing towards you. So it makes it take longer. The reason why somebody achieves results in 30 days and another person requires 90 days is the cumulative effect of, are you always drawing it to you, or are there times where you send it back? Okay, so here the will comes into use because by means of your will, you determine the objects of your attention. You are not grateful because good things happen to you. You are grateful because you chose to be grateful and you use your will in spite of what happens to you to be grateful. So you realize here that this is what he's saying. He says this is where you use your will to determine what you focus your attention on. If you want to become rich, you must not make a study of poverty. The things are not brought into being by thinking of their opposites. If you want health, don't think about disease. If you want righteousness, you are not going to focus on sin. If you want wealth, you will not focus on poverty. You put your attention in the direction that you want your life to go. So one of the key elements of your use of your will is to make choices to feed your mind on the things in the direction to where you want to go. If you are in the room today, I'd like you to say this: I choose what I pay attention to. Write down that page there, I choose what I pay attention to. Okay? God is more willing to give than we're willing to receive. We have an ability to choose what we pay attention to. Health as a study of disease has increased disease in the world. Okay, one very interesting coincidence that happened for me 3 days ago was I watched a movie where somebody was arguing against the grain of the direction of health. And it was saying we're supposed to help people improve their lives, not to slow down or prevent them from death. We're not supposed to be studying diseases. We're supposed to be studying human beings and seeing how we can make them better. A true life story, but that coincidence sat well with me because it helps me to understand this more clearly, that you want to think about what you want to create, not think against what you don't want to create. You have the ability to choose what you pay attention to. Okay, and you can choose to pay attention to righteousness, you can choose to pay attention to health, you can choose to pay attention to wealth rather than poverty. To talk, do not now, and these are very interesting remarks which you'll find in chapter 9. Do not talk about poverty. Do not investigate or concern yourself with it. Never mind what the causes are. You have nothing to do with them. What concerns you is the cure. It now says, do not spend your time on charitable work or charity movements. All charity only tends to perpetuate the wretchedness it claims to eradicate. So what charity investments do is they make you people able to collect bread, to sustain in their poverty rather than inspire them to do better. Now, this is not an instruction to be callous or to not help people who are down, but this is realizing that the ultimate good you will do for anybody is rather to inspire them. The poor do not need charity, the poor need inspiration. That's perhaps why Jesus Christ said he has come not to give bread to the poor, but to preach the gospel to the poor, because it is information, good news inspiring news that is able to transform the fate of those who are poor. And being poor is more than not having money. Being poor is having lack. It's lack of resources to accomplish the things that are really seeking for manifestation in you that you cannot accomplish. So don't spend your time in charitable work or charitable movements. Spend your time in inspiration. Don't fool yourself, okay? Because people are actually perpetuating poverty by some of the things that they do. It says if you want to help the poor, demonstrate to them that they can become rich. Prove it by getting rich yourself. Get rich. This is the best way you can help the poor. Now, these are very tough words, but if you look at them, you find that they make sense. Okay, it says the best thing you can do for the poor is get rich and show them that they can as well. Move to the creative plane. Now, there are many ways to get rich. People get rich from competition. Few people get rich from creative plane. The way to inspire the poor and show them that they can also create anything they want to create is move to the creative plane. Okay, this opens doors for creating wealth for others. If you are in the competitive plane, you're basically kicking off the ladder that helped you to get to the top. Okay, use your willpower to keep your mind off the subject of poverty and keep your mind fixed with faith and purpose on the vision of what you want to create. This is a summary of how to use your will. Okay, if you are here and you hear and you understand this, just type in that box there, I hear. Okay, I hear. So we're going to progress neatly to the next chapter. Good, I can see that you hear. This is how to use a will. Focus your attention on what you want to create. We're doing wealth creation, not poverty eradication. We're doing health and wellness, not disease and curative. We're advancing people, cursing we prevented. That's the domain we want to play. It's in more, not how to eradicate what is less. You can't help the poor by sharing money. You can't help the poor by giving them bread. You can help the poor by inspiring them. What the poor needs is good news. That's what the poor needs. Okay, that's strange, that's harsh, that's different from what we are told and different from what we have planned. Modify your plans. There are further uses of the will. So let's talk about the further use of the will as we enter into chapter 10. Okay, so in chapter 10, it says, you cannot retain a true and clear vision of wealth if you are constantly turning your attention to opposing pictures, either external or imaginary. You cannot keep on reading the newspapers, watching channels that are showcasing poverty and looking at those things and say you want to retain a clear vision of where you want to go. Give your attention wholly to riches. Ignore poverty. Whenever you think or speak of those who are poor, think and speak of them as those who are becoming rich, as those who are congratulated rather than pitied. Then they and others will catch the inspiration and begin to search for the way out. Okay, that when you are conversing with people that are poor, see them as becoming rich, see them as advancing. Don't see them in their pitiful state. See them as people to be congratulated because they are involved in a process that is making them better. Your assignment is to inspire so that they can also seek a way out. And I hope as many of us as are here in this meeting are being inspired. That same inspiration is what you will need to offer to others as well. I repeat, and then he repeats in the book and says, you can aim at nothing so great or noble as to become rich. You must fix your attention upon your mental picture of riches to the exclusion of all that may tend to dim or obscure your vision. And this is in connection not with wealth as an end, but because it serves your purpose. It serves your assignment, the things that you are created to do. You are given the ability to sing. You're supposed to sing to sing and let your music bless the world. You have the ability to play football. You're supposed to be on the stage where you can bless a bigger congregation of people. Your talents are not meant for the corner room. They're meant to be showcased and brought as light, lifted high, that provides light to all in the environment. Reality is, if you don't have resources, you will not achieve your full potential. So I repeat, there's nothing as great or noble as ensuring that this becomes your reality. You must fix your attention upon that mental picture of riches at the exclusion of all that intends to obscure the vision. It is true that there is no such thing as poverty. There is only wealth. This needs to become your thinking pattern. There is nothing called poverty. Poverty is darkness. There's only wealth. Wealth is light. So if there's no wealth somewhere, it's the only way they can allude to something that's been present. The real thing that creates presence is wealth. Some people remain in poverty because they are ignorant of the fact that there is wealth for them. Okay, These people can best be taught by showing them the way to affluence in your own person and practice. So how do I help others? Help yourself. Show, demonstrate. Take these things upon action and demonstrate that it is possible, and use that as the case study that inspires others to affluence. So ignorance is what is available there. The real assignment is not to teach, and teach. Yes, you will teach them, but you teach them from your own practice what you have been able to do. Just like I'm doing today, I can share plenty of examples with you of what I've been able to do with this. And for many of you who know me a little closely, you know that I'm, always happy, averagely. You know that I'm grateful. You know that nothing seems to bring me down. You know that I like to give more value, use value than I collect cash value. You know a few of these things. So you already see that it is in practice with me. That's what makes it possible to be able to teach it. Okay, so if you want to help poor people, show them with your life, teach them, inspire them. The very best thing you can do for the whole world is to make the most of yourself. Do it by the creative method. Master the science prescribed in this book. It is simple and stripped of non-essentials. When you have become rich, you can now begin to read other books. Okay, it says this sounds a bit cocky, but guess what? It's simple. Okay, if you take something as simple as this to say it starts from my thoughts, it starts from imprinting my thoughts on the creative substance, on God, letting God know this is what I want, because I can see that it is an expression of Him working out His way through me. And then I hold this vision. I am grateful as if it is already mine. And then I use my will to keep my attention on this path, and I begin to walk in a certain way. I will definitely 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 will equals 5. Okay, and here's the things we have found out in our current summary up until chapter 10. And it says, there's a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. A person can form things in his thoughts, and by impressing his thought upon the formless substance can cause the things he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, a person must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants. He must hold this picture in his thoughts with fixed purpose to get what he wants, and the unwavering faith that he will get what he wants, closing his mind against all that may tend to shake his purpose, dim his vision, or quench his faith. Okay, this is the summary we have as of this point. And if you are following this class, you need to get that summary written down somewhere, as something that you have and hold. Okay, so that, yes, there's a thinking stuff. Yes, a thought held in it creates what is created. Yes, as a person, I have the capacity to create thoughts, to form thoughts and imprint it, and it will be created. And in order to do this, I must pass from competitive to creative. I must have a clear mental picture and be unwavering in my faith, manifesting it by gratitude with a fixed purpose for what I want. And then I close my mind to everything that suggests otherwise, and I can quench my vision or quench my faith. I keep my mind on the things that I want to see. Okay, so that brings us to the end of that chapter, and then we move to chapter 11, which goes beyond thinking in a certain way to acting in a certain way. And this is where it becomes lengthy, because there's a lot for us to cover here, but we'll cover them quickly as well. So acting in the certain way, chapter 11, in focus. So it says here, thought is the compelling force that causes the creative power to act. Okay, so the creative power is God, and I need to transmit my thoughts. So he transmits his thought to me, I transmit my thought to him to create. So thinking in a certain way will bring riches to you, but you must not rely upon thought alone, paying no attention to personal action. That is the rock upon which many otherwise scientific metaphysical thinkers meet their shipwreck, the failure to connect thought with action. You need to take that thought and connect it with action. I tell people that thought is gas, words are liquid, and acts are solid. Okay, your thought makes all things, animate and inanimate, work to bring you what you want. However, your personal activity must be such that you can rightly receive what you want when it reaches you. You are not to take it as charity or steal it. You must give every person more in use value than it gives you in cash value. So let's say, for example, you form the thought that you need bars of gold. The bars of gold, somewhere in the world, in Utah, somebody begins to have an idea to check their backyard, and in their backyard they find gold. That person begins to feel compelled to sell this to somebody, and somebody from France buys this gold from the person in Utah. That person in France has a relative in Nigeria. The universe begins to, by the normal channels of commerce, begins to organize and orchestrate what you have imaged towards you. It will, however, not be received by you until there's a corresponding action that is able to put in the sickle to bring the harvest of the things that you have imagined. That action you must take is an action of ensuring that whatever work you find yourself currently doing today, you do it with the efficiency and the excellence of somebody who is holding the image in their mind, and you are making sure that everybody that comes to you is getting more use value than the cash value you collect from them. The vision received from you sets all the creative forces at work in and through their regular channels of action, but directed towards you. Okay? It is not your part to guide or supervise the creative process. All you have to do with that is to retain your vision, stick to your purpose, and maintain your faith and gratitude. Don't control the creative process. Stay on your lane. You must then act in a certain way so that you can appropriate what is yours when it comes to you, so that you can accept the things in your picture and put them in their proper places. These things are heading for you. The creative process makes them begin to head towards you. You now need to ensure that in every transaction, in every exchange, there's an excellence in every exchange that is based upon the vision that you're keeping, and that you provide for everyone who comes your way more value, more use value than the cash value you collect from them. This is how to appropriate what is yours when it comes to you. Okay, further on that thought, it says, by thought, the thing you want is brought to you. By action, you receive it. By thought, it is brought to you. By action, you receive it. It is possible to unconsciously set the creative forces at work by the intensity, the consistency, and the prevalence of your desires. But it will bring nothing without receiving action. So the creative force can be set in motion and things can be coming towards you. If you are lazy, indolent, and are not working in a certain way, you will not be able to receive what you have created. Whatever your action is to be, it is evident, okay, that you must act now. You cannot act in the past, nor in the future, okay? You must act when? Now, okay? Type in the window, I must act now. Whatever your action is, it is evident that you must act now. You cannot act in the past or the future. Do not give your creative impulse to the original substance and then sit down and wait for results. If you do, you will never get them. Act now. Your action must be in the present, business or employment, and it must be upon the persons and the things in your present environment, not in the future and not regretting the past. It must be acting now. Do not dwell on whether yesterday's work was done poorly. Do today's work well. Act now. Do not try to do tomorrow's work now. There will be plenty of time to do that when tomorrow comes. Act now. Do not wait for a change in the environment before you act. Cause a change in your environment through acting now. Don't waste time building castles in the air or daydreaming. Hold on to the one vision of what you want and act now. Okay? I think it's important and powerful. The action must be now, not tomorrow, not regretting the past, now. For some time to come, your actions will probably be the same as those you have been performing. So for example, if you're a distributor, you will be prospecting, you'll be doing appointment setting, you'll be doing needs analysis, you'll be doing presentations, you'll be handling objections, you'll be doing three-way calls, you'll be getting referrals, you'll be closing sales. Your actions will not change, okay? But now you will perform those actions in the certain way which will surely make you rich, okay? Your actions will not change, but the certain way, the way in which your actions will be performed from today is what will change. And once that action changes, you will become rich. Your vision and faith will set the creative force in motion to bring it towards you. And your action will cause the forces in your environment to move you towards the place you want. So don't say, when I travel to the UK is when I will achieve results. When I go to London, when I go to Canada, when I relocate to Ukraine, that's when I'll get results. No. If you're in Ukraine already, fantastic. If you're in London already, phenomenal. If you're in the US already, beautiful. If you're in Lagos, Nigeria, excellent. If you're in Osogbo, beautiful as well. The action you need to begin to put is not tomorrow, is now. You must begin to act in a certain way. Don't wait till tomorrow. The certain way in which your actions begin to work is now. Okay? You will receive by action. It is brought to you by thought. You receive it by action. And that action is operating your business now, doing all that you need to do now in a certain way. You need to perform the same actions you're performing, but in a certain way that will make you rich. So what are current summary? Current summary is there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Person can form things in his thoughts, and by impressing his thoughts upon the formless substance can cause the things he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, a person must pass from competitive to creative mind. He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants, and he must hold this picture in his thoughts with fixed purpose to get what he wants. And the unwavering faith that he will get what he wants, closing his mind to all that may tend to shake his purpose, dim his vision, or quench his faith. That he may receive what he wants when it comes, a person must act now upon the people and things in his present environment. Your action must be upon the people and upon the things in your present environment. The way to receive is you must begin to act with the clear vision of the future you see upon the people and the things in your present environment. Now you type in that window for me. I will do what I have been doing, but now in a certain way. I will do what I've always been doing, but I will do it now in a certain way. Okay? I will do it what I've been doing, but I'll do it now in a certain way that is full of gratitude, in a certain way that offers more value than the cash you receive, in a certain way that basically begins to operate in the now with the clarity of gratitude and vision for the things that are already done. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. I can see comments rolling in on that. And then, of course, the last chapter, efficient action. And I like this one, efficient action, efficient action. So I want to review what exactly is efficient action and how does efficient action work? How do we get to the manifestation of this efficient action? Okay, good. I can see the comments coming in, beautiful. So for efficient action, it says you must use your thoughts as I have directed in the previous chapters. You must begin to do what you can do where you are, and you must do all that you can do where you are. Don't leave undone what you can do. Do all you can do where you are. This is a certain way. This is how to have efficient action. This is how your action will make you successful. You can advance only by being larger than your present place. And no man is larger than his present place who leaves undone any of the work pertaining to that place. If you want to become 3-star, you must overspill 2-star. If you want to become 4-star, you overspill 3-star. You only get promoted in life by not complaining about where you are, not running from where you are, by feeling and overfilling where you are. In order to advance, you must be larger than your current place. And no man is larger than his place who leaves undone any of the work pertaining to that place. So every day is either a successful day or a day of failure. And it is successful days which get you what you want. If every day is a failure, you will never get rich. If every day is a success, you cannot help but get rich. The consequences of not doing today what needs to be done and succeeding at it are grave. So you want to ensure that every day is a successful day. Okay? Every day is either a successful day or a failure day. Okay? And that means you need to pay attention to the days. You need to pay attention to ensure that the many things you're doing, the activities you're doing on a daily basis are giving you success. If you know that this is what is required to achieve success, then it must be done in that day. And I hope you are seeing it, because this affects your business, this affects your life, this affects what you are doing at the moment, and asking yourself, am I successful today? Okay. Do every day all that can be done that day within reasonable limitations. It is not really the number of things you do, but the efficiency of each separate action that counts. Every act is in itself either efficient or inefficient. Every inefficient act is a failure. If you spend your life doing efficient acts, your whole life will be a failure. The more the things you do, the worse for you if all your acts are inefficient ones. On the other hand, every efficient act is a success in itself. And if every act of your life is an efficient one, your whole life must be success. Must be a success. The cause of failure is doing too many things in an inefficient manner and not doing enough things in an efficient manner. So the key crux here is you want to begin to be efficient in your action. You want to be able to look at, these are the things I need to achieve, these are the things I need to do, and these are the things I need to do today. These are the actions today in the current business that I am. I need to overqualify and be excellent at what my current work role requires in order to spill over into doing more. The cause of failure is doing too many things in an inefficient manner and not doing enough things in an efficient manner. Okay, so efficiency of action. You can make each act a success because the infinite is working with you and the infinite cannot fail. Okay, so you and I have the opportunity of playing an infinite game. We have, we know for all creation, and particularly if you are a person of faith, you know that this is true, that God lives in you and is at work within you to will and to do according to his good pleasure. And if you have other beliefs, understand as well that the key element here is we are basically just hands for God to have expression, feet for him to run errands, eyes for him to see beauty. We are all expressions of God. And because God cannot fail, you have that at your advantage. You have that working in you. So every act of yours can become successful. You need to believe that this is true. The supreme power is at your service. To make each act efficient, you have only to put your own power into it. You only need to use your will, okay, to support it. You only need to use your will to ensure that you're doing this action. Every action is either strong or weak. When everyone is strong, you are acting in a certain way, which will make you rich. Do every day all you can do that day and do each act in an efficient manner. In saying that you must hold your vision while you are doing each act, however trivial or commonplace. So understand this. I am today a networker. My vision is to become someone who earns this particular value. These are the projects I want to do. This is the kind of life I want to live. There's a portion of it that's my lifestyle. There's a portion of it that is my impact. This is how I want to be able to inspire people. This is the life that I dream. Now, the vision of that future that I am grateful for in the present already needs to be my reality every day as I do my basic tasks. No matter how trivial or commonplace my work is, I must do it like the person who has already achieved where they are going. So if I'm a shoemaker, I must make shoes like the best shoemakers. If I'm a street sweeper, I must sweep like Michelangelo swept. If I am a, whatever, no matter how menial my role is, I must bring efficient and strong, like I must bring strength, into my actions and efficiency into my actions. If you wish speedy results, spend practically all your spare time in this practice. If you want your results to be speedy, every spare time you have, use it to reinforce the vision, use it to reinforce and hold the picture of the vision you want, or to create the difference you want to make. Hold it in your mind. Use every time you have an opportunity to have to reinforce this picture. Okay? If you wish for speedy results, practice this every spare time that you have. Then in your working hours, you need only to mentally refer to the pictures to stimulate your faith and purpose and to put forth your best efforts. So in your working hours, you let this vision stimulate you to put in your best effort. By continuous contemplation, you will get the picture of what you want firmly fixed upon your mind and completely transferred to the mind of the formless substance. Contemplate your picture in your leisure hours, until your consciousness is so full of it that you can grasp it instantly. You will become so enthusiastic about its bright promises that the mere thought of it will call forth the strongest energies of your whole being. I hope you are getting this today, okay? This is going to really radically transform your business and the way that you prospect, the way that you present, the way you handle objections, the way you close your sales, the way you do the things you do in your business, in your marriage, in various aspects of your life, because your contemplation about the vision that is finding expression in you is taking over you and is making you put your best effort. It's giving you an opportunity to bring forth your strongest energies. And I'll give you a very interesting example of something that Bill Gates said was the reason why he dropped out of school. He said there was this overriding vision of being involved in the personal computer space that he had. He had this vision that he'll be involved. And then one day he saw a magazine that basically it was like his trigger to say, wow, that which I dreamt is already coming to reality. I can't stay in this school, okay? Because this vision is so overwhelming. He begins to put in his best effort into what will make him what he is today. The same thing for you. You need to find the space where you are in today, what you are doing today. Contemplate upon the picture of the vision that you want to create, your why. This is not about money, this is about the why. So the reason why you want to be rich is because there's what you want to accomplish. There's the vision you want to achieve. There's a purpose behind the money. There's what you want to use it for. Now, with this held firmly in your mind, and you hold it in your leisure hours until your consciousness is full of it, it will make you enthusiastic and energetic in adding the value to every work that you need to add. Okay, I hope you get that. So here again is a summary of our conversation till date. Summary of the syllabus. There's a thinking stuff from which all things are made, which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspace of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. A person is a thinking center. He can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon the formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, a person must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. He must form a clear picture of the things he wants. He must do it with faith and purpose in all that can be done each day. He must do with faith and purpose all that can be done each day, doing each separate thing in an efficient manner. Okay? So this basically gives a view of this is what your action needs to be. So for example, for all of us that are in business, you know that your action cannot be the same again. It must take its bearing from the vision that you see. If this is clear to you and you are ready to go into action, type in that box, I am ready. Okay, I am ready. Today's code is 11000. 11000 is today's code, and the link that we need to use to send our feedback is bit.ly/was-present. Okay, we have it there on the page. I've decided to add it to the slide so that everybody can have it. Okay, so is bit.ly/was-present, and I hope you can see that and read that clearly. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the house today and you are ready, okay, the key element we added here is the vision needs to be your contemplation. So not only are we going to have a vision board, that vision board needs to be taken out from the vision board and burned into our imagination. So I told you to write the list of the things you want to accomplish, the list of the things you want to achieve, the list of your goals, your dreams, and your aspirations. And then we need to begin to hold these thoughts in our image. We will need to do a vision board. And I want to be involved in helping for us to be able to do that. So you can have something temporary in the meantime. I'm working on something that can be robust, that can help us have phenomenal things, going forward. But this needs to impact your action. Your contemplative vision needs to begin to impact your daily action. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the summary for today. I think today I made it in an absolutely good time so that the recording is not too long. Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Akiemi, and it's been exciting sharing this stuff with you.